I think they downloaded in chill chat. Yeah, Raul. So it's actually bigger than it looks. I'm kind of disappointed. I caught the biggest one on the day, and I don't know if it's just the angle or what, but if you look at my little body and look at the fish, you can tell he's pretty big. And that's my neighbor out there helping me fillet, so that's always fun. All right, we're gonna get started pretty soon, in about 2 minutes or so. Are you guys excited for this week? I mean, what is your overall feeling? Like, how do you guys feel coming into this week? I thought I did a pretty good job with the broad market analysis. I was overly excited, I should say, um, about this week. And that's because we need to take the time and be thankful um, for everything around us and not try to put too much emphasis on the market. Remember why you're here, okay? Most of us started just to, create some sort of residual income, whether it takes care of a bill. Um, and a lot of people, they go from, hey, I just want to pay a bill or something to, I want to be a millionaire overnight. That's not really how it should be. It's a long process. Morning, Pat. There we go. All right. Good morning, everybody. It is the 2nd of November. Today it's Chloe's birthday, my youngest. She's growing into a young adult. So, what an exciting time. And tomorrow we have elections. And then yours truly gets another year older. I'm not looking forward to that on the 4th. And here we are, waking up. Beautiful day. Hopefully, it's beautiful where you are. Let's go ahead and start with the futures. And then after I'm done with the futures, I'll give a little bit of insight on Amazon, Spotify, BIDU, and XLE. All right, let's go ahead and get started here. So, first things first, I want to show you the daily candle. We have quite a bit of notes, and I'm going to show you right here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take a bigger look of the ES. I need you to look at the November monthly. So, we're going to come over here. We're going to put this on a monthly chart. These are my notes for the month. This is really important. Okay, and what you're seeing right now is that we have a double inside candle, double inside candles, plural. I apologize. And now we have this, monthly. We just started it. Don't get too excited. A little bit of a rounding bottom, it looks like. We have higher lows forming. All right, and again, this is a monthly. We have an inside and up down here. We did not go inside and down as of right now. And again, we are rounding out. Surprise, below this line is an official inside and down. The monthly close of October is a double inside. We are holding just above this level here, this blue line. That's what I wanted to see before the month closed out last week. So I'm happy about that. A couple things I want to note are some confluence, the 9 EMA, the trendy edge, and the 38.2, all in this area right here. If for some reason we get a volatile spike, okay, and price pushes down very suddenly, I'm actually a buyer down here and we'll be looking to buy out about 60 to 90 days on the SPY, okay, on the call side. So I am net long in my portfolio and I do have some hedges on as well targeting this area. All right, that's the monthly look. Let's go ahead and take a look over here and we're going to get you into the weekly, okay? Let's go over here to the weekly candle. It's going to be a lot of lines on here, and I apologize, and that's because we have a blueprint going on for last night, but we just want to look at the weekly candles really quick, okay? You can see nice rounding formation. We came up, we pushed down last night. We do have new trendy edges, new trendy edges. So if you've been following me since last week, then you understand that we came into the trendy edge last week, right before close. And look, we bounced very nicely here at about 30 points or so. All right. The new edges, you can see them. We are holding the new edge as of right now. And let's go ahead and get into the nightly look. There it is right there. I'm going to take you into a 4 hour. And you can see we pushed up very nicely. We came right into the green box. It looks like magic. It's really not that difficult to plan these blueprints. It does take some practice. You can't master it in a couple days. It does take a few months, maybe even a year for some folks. But as of right now, we came into the green box. We pushed up nicely. This is a nice rounding bottom on the 4 hour as well. I told you all for the last several weeks that what we were waiting for are the candles to close over the 9 EMA on a 4 hour. Notice this has been a very hard challenge for the market. And as we wake up this morning, we did push into the red box. And to make this very simple and for people to understand the psychology of the market, everybody says, oh man, everything moved. That's right, it did move. And it moved right into our red box. And as you wake up and you get excited, unfortunately, you watch it trickle down. That's called supply. That's where we ran out of sellers, right? But how can you do that? How can you find the path and how does it work? It's just a psychological level. You can see we have a topping wick in here as well. It's showing you already that people are scared. I don't know why to buy over this box. Okay. We don't need to know the why. The technicals show that this is a resistance area. What I'm watching today is this 4 hour 9 EMA. Okay. Because I want to hold this. We need to hold this. If we can hold this for the day, and I mean the close of today, then things are going to look better. If we continue to move up here into this area, we are not safe. Bulls are not safe really for a long distance from here. But for today, intraday, if we can get over 33.19 and hold this red box, we have a high probability of pushing into the 33 and the 45 area into tomorrow. From there, who knows what's going to happen? It could be very volatile. Okay. The bigger look here is I like that we're rounding out. I showed you that on the monthly. I like the 4 hour, and I'd like to see us get into the 33 area. That is the ESF. Let's go ahead and move on to the Amazon. All right, and here's Amazon. This is my blueprint for right now. Please understand that these edges are no longer valid. They were expired over the weekend, and we will have new edges that pop up on the screen when the market opens. Okay, and as of right now, I am identifying this green box here. Been waiting for it patiently. There's a couple things going on that I would like to bring up. Let's go ahead and go to the daily, and let's start here. Okay, so this is not going to show you the pre-market action as of right now, but please beware that we do have an inside and up forming here, and there was, not much pressure of a move out of here, but we did get a relief bounce, and you can see that this morning. Under here, at first sight, it looks like we filled this gap, but we didn't. Okay, I like to use the base, not the wick, and you can see price has not quite moved into this area. If we continue to move down, all right, to the downside, I'd expect price to move into this green box, and when it does, I don't want to necessarily just buy a falling knife, and I also want to be careful because of the election. Okay, again, as a disclaimer, anything that I am trading this week is smaller with wider stops. Now, the reason for that is because if I went in regular allocation with the projected volatility, I most likely will get scared out of a position. I'm very transparent. I get scared just like anybody else. Okay, I don't want to lose money. Okay, here we have this gap fill. If price falls into this level, I'd like to see us, give some sign of hope, maybe an inside and up. It doesn't have to be inside and up, but let's just say buyers come in here. Then I will take a position, most likely in Amazon. I'm either going to do spreads if it makes sense, or I'm going to buy shares, and it's going to be an intraday trade. Okay. If I buy spreads, I'll hold it. Not a big deal. Okay. All right, so this is what I'm looking for. I could do put credit spreads down here, and I also can do some debit calls to the upside. All right, those are two different options that I have here. And again, intraday, I can do shares. All right, if we go back to the 4 hour, this is going to give you a better representation of what's going on. It continues to fade, okay, just like the ESF as it hit that red box. And we'll be looking again for price to come in here. Before I move on, I like to create an alert, okay, at or below. And again, this is just going to bring me to the chart so that I can then watch it once we get there. Note that the edge to the upside was resistance. This is the trendy edge, okay? And it has almost made its way all the way back to the past edge. Let's go ahead and move on to Spotify. SPOT has moved down into a green box area and has pushed up a little bit. Notice that the 4 hour 9 EMA is just above and pretty close to my target. So if price can hold this 235.94, I'd be looking for a push possibly into 247 by 248. Once it hits this 9 EMA, I will most likely see some sort of rejection here. Okay. If price continues and it can't even go bid, I would say this morning, be patient. Give it about 10 to 30 minutes. Give us some market direction. If we continue down, be looking for this past target over here. And just like the Amazon, okay, trade, I'm not trying to call a bottom. If you're bullish or you're looking to go long, some people don't like going short. Then I'm waiting for that reclaim of these levels, okay? And then stops go in, and then I'm looking for that move into the EMA. Before you take a trade, you should always know what your time frame is, where your EMA is according to your time frame, and you should have some targets. We teach how to find targets here. I think they're very, very important, especially you cannot argue with me, especially in a volatile market. If you don't have a target and you're not using EMAs and you're just kind of, hey, I hope I buy this at $4 and I hope it goes to 12. Most likely you're going to get hammered and your career as a trader is going to be over very quickly. This is Spotify. Okay, again, let it fall in here. On a reclaim, market starts to bounce, then I'll be interested. Let's go ahead and move on. I do like BIDU. I decided not to take a pre-market trade this morning, and that's because we were coming into the red box on the ESF. If any of you don't know, that is my main driver. Okay, I like to use the ESF. And you can see here, this was my neutral. It came into the neutral and is now bouncing. Now, if I were taking a share trade, I would have opened this up pre-market, and these would be starters. And if for some reason we pull back all the way into this 133, this is where I'd be adding. And then my stop would be under this 132.13. But I'm not going to do pre-market trades this morning. I'm going to wait until we open up and then look at the premium on the options. I may be looking for spreads in BIDU. I like the relative strength. If you notice here, I marked this as supply. We have come up and tested this several times. We've come up and tested the trendy edge several times and so forth. It's resistance, plain and simple. All right, so what I'd like to see here is that we can stay bid above 134.57, hit 135.30, not reject, but actually push up nicely. And if we, by chance, get above 136, I'll be looking to add. If we open up and the market sinks, again, same scenario as I just showed you on Amazon and Spotify, I'll be waiting for reclaims. See if the market can hold what it gave us last night. It's not going to hold it all. You can see that already. But if it starts to reclaim and start to push up towards the last night's high, that is a sign that we could be pushing up into the election. Okay. All right, let's go over here to NIO. All right. Now I'm currently in this trade. I had spreads and I got rid of the short side. So all that means, let me just show you. It means I bought a call in the past. Okay. And then I sold a call against it up here. When things start to look bullish, what I do is I buy back this, okay, the short side. I should have made that red, I apologize, and I keep the long side. So this morning we will be opening up with profits. We have 18 days until expiration, and as I've shown you, this is the extension target in 34.40. If you do not want to get out of this trade, what I'd be paying attention to is your time frame. Yours may be different than mine. Pay attention to your 9 EMA, the 3447. Basically, between the EMA and this area is a neutral. If we start to reclaim above 3450, let's just call it that, then we do have an opportunity to move stops up and try to ride into the 37. I do have a narrative behind this, and I'm thinking about a long-term trade in NIO, even though this one has been long. I'm talking longer. Okay, so we'll talk about that later. All right, so that's what we're looking at there on NIO. So again, these are targets to the upside, and depending on your time frame, price could pull back into your EMA. All right, XLE, another long-term trade for me. We're up nicely here this morning. All right, I changed the blueprint around just a little bit. I did not change this bottom target. If you notice, we came right into the bottom target. This was my last add. Went fully allocated into this level, and now we're waking up, up a little bit. I believe I had the 29 calls. Give me 1 second, please, while I look at that. And we do. Sorry, we have the 30s, and they expire 46 days from now. What I'll be looking for is if it can hold these 9 EMAs and push its way into, at least I would find a little rejection around 29.66. But if it can blow past this, I'm looking for 30.22 and possibly a 31.59 into this area. What I'd like to see on XLE is this little rounding area, just like this, come across this way, pull back, and then up. Okay. And of course, everyone is saying that depends on who gets elected. I could care less. I'm just looking at my levels. All right. So besides that, guys, members and anyone that's watching, if you'd like to go over something else, please let me know. We have, it's 8:15 here Central Time in Florida. I'd like to finish up here in about 7 minutes or so and get ready to trade. So if you have anything that you would like me to look at, please let me know now. And I knew somebody would bring up Apple, right? All right, here's Apple. This was our blueprint from last week. So we pull back into the green box, and then we find ourselves, pushed up just a little bit. Now, one thing that is really, telling during this time, and I've said this for the last 2 weeks, is when the market is gapping up in the mornings, we come over and look at some of these strong names, and they're hardly moving. Have you guys noticed that? So, I mean, any other, time, the ES is up 40, 50 points on open. These things are up like big time, you know? And here we are opening Apple. I mean, we still have 15 minutes or so, but Apple's up like 15, 20 cents, guys, right? So, in my opinion, some people don't like to hear this, but it feels a little manipulated, right? Yeah, futures and equity not quite matching up here, right? So just beware. It just feels like no matter what, prices are being kept down. Nothing wrong with that. If they continue lower, we'll just have ourselves a clearance sell. All right, we'll get things a lot cheaper. All right, so green box is here. You can see that 109.04 is actually a level that I'd like to see price get above, and we had this from last week. And as of right now, it's holding right there at that level. What I'd be paying attention to, again, the 4-hour 9 EMA, you can see its resistance over and over and over. Well, guess what? Nothing's changed. Okay, now this 9 EMA is right here on Apple. And let's zoom in for you so you can see that. That is the 9 EMA. Price has already come up pre-market and has rejected that. If you can note these things and identify them really early in the game, you have yourself a blueprint. You have yourself a plan. If price can't get over that, you don't do anything. All right? Targets above there. If we happen to get above the 9 EMA, look for a push into possibly 110.94 and 111.72. A bigger push, some kind of crazy catalyst, could get you close to 114.97. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Tesla. Another request. And same thing here. Check it out. You can see that NT, right? We're underneath the 9. Imagine this, the 4 hour, you could look at it that way. The 4 hour is basically your go-to, all right, during this entire thing. All right, I'm not seeing anything that says go long as of right now, except for the green box. Again, I gave you this. By the way, do you guys remember this blueprint? I haven't changed it. When we were in the middle, okay, we were here, and everybody wanted to know, hey, John, where can we go? This was supply or a trendy edge. Look at the pink line. Or down here into this level. Price moved. It took its time. Once it broke down below the 4, it made its way into the green box. And here we are. So what I would tell you is if we were not having an election, all right, almost all of these charts are setting up any other time I would be looking at buying in the green box. Does anything change? Should I still buy the green box? I don't know. What I do know, again, before I end this, is that we are expecting volatility. It's not going to be easy. The premiums on options are going to be elevated. Be careful. I'm trading smaller, wider stops. It's an awesome week. It's going to be historical. Have fun. Enjoy your life. Trading is just a small piece of that. Be thankful and good luck to everybody, and I'll see you soon.